In the early days of Methodism, a minister of the Welsh Calvinistic Methodist Church, John Jones of Flintshire, was traveling on horseback through a desolate region in northern Wales. According to his account, reprinted years ago in the London Christian Herald, he observed a rough looking man, armed with a reaping hook, following him on the other side of a hedge, aiming to come up with him at the gate, where it was necessary for the horseman to dismount. The minister had a bag of money which he had collected for a chapel building, and felt that not only the money, but possibly his life, was in danger. He stopped his horse and bowed his head to pray for special protection on his journey. The horse was restive to go on, and on looking up after a moment of silent prayer, Joan saw a horseman on a white steed immediately alongside. He was surprised and unable to account for the sudden and welcome appearance of a companion at such a moment. He says, I described to the stranger the dangerous position in which I had been placed and how I was relieved by his sudden appearance. He made no reply, and on looking at his face, I saw he was intently gazing at the direction of the gate. I followed his gaze, and I saw the reaper emerge from his concealment and run across a field to our left. He had evidently seen that I was no longer alone and had given up his intended attempt. All cause for alarm now being removed, I endeavored to enter into conversation with my deliverer, but again, without the slightest success. Not a word did he give me in reply. I continued talking, however, as we rode toward the gate, though I utterly failed to see any reason for it, and indeed felt rather hurt at his silence. Only once did I hear his voice. Having watched the reaper disappear over the brow of a neighboring hill, I turned to my companion and said, Can it for a moment be doubted that my prayer was heard, and that you were sent for my deliverance from the Lord? Then the horseman uttered a single word, Amen. Not another word did he give, though I continued endeavoring to get him to reply to my questions, both in English and in Welsh. We were now approaching the gate. I hurried on my horse for the purpose of opening it, and having done so, waited for him to pass through. He came not. I turned my head to seek for him. He was gone. I was dumbfounded. I looked back in the direction from which we had been riding. He was not seen. He could not have gone through the gate, nor have made his horse leap the high hedges which on both sides shut in the road. Where was he? Could it be possible that I had seen no man, or no horse at all? That the vision was but a creature of my imagination? I tried hard to convince myself that this must be the case, but in vain, for unless someone had been with me, why then had the reaper with his murderous-looking sickle hurried away? No, this horseman was no creature of mine. Who could he have been? I asked myself this question again and again, and then a feeling of profound awe began to creep over my soul. I remembered the singular manner in which he first appeared. I recollected his silence, and then again that single word to which he had given utterance, which was elicited from him by the mentioning of the name of the Lord. And this was the only occasion on which I had done so. What could I then believe? But one thing, that my prayer had been heard, that the help had indeed been sent to me at my time of peril. Full of this thought, I dismounted, and throwing myself on my knees on the side of the road, I offered up a prayer of thankfulness to Him who had so singly preserved me from danger. I then mounted my horse and continued on my journey. Through the years, though time has elapsed since that memorable July day, I have never for an instant wavered in the belief that I had a special providential deliverance.